The United States and the United Kingdom are expected to announce a deal to reduce tariffs on Thursday, marking a significant step in trade relations between the two countries. The UK government has been pushing for a reduction in tariffs ever since President Donald Trump imposed them on almost all nations last month. On Wednesday night, President Trump hinted at the possible agreement on social media. In a strongly worded post, he said, "Big news conference tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the Oval Office, concerning a major trade deal with representatives of a big and highly respected country. The first of many." Back on April 2nd, Trump had announced heavy tariffs on dozens of trading partners as part of his plan to overhaul trade practices. However, a 90-day delay on the implementation of some levies gave countries a window to negotiate deals with Washington. Many governments have been scrambling to reach trade agreements before the deadline ends. Although Trump left a 10% global tariff in place, this also affected the UK, despite its close and long-standing alliance with the United States. The UK avoided the higher reciprocal tariffs imposed on other nations, but still faces a 25% import tax on steel, aluminum, and cars entering the US market. Reports suggest Washington is not only working with the UK, but is also close to finalizing trade agreements with India and Israel. Talks are also ongoing with other nations, including Japan, South Korea, and Vietnam. President Trump has made it clear that he intends to renegotiate trade agreements worldwide, aiming to reshape the global trade system into one that he believes is fairer for the U.S. Meanwhile, the U.S. and China are making moves to cool tensions in their escalating trade war. Both countries have announced that top trade officials will hold talks in Switzerland from May 9th to May 12th. China's Vice Premier, He Lifeng, will represent Beijing, while U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will represent Washington. Since returning to the White House, Trump has imposed new tariffs on Chinese goods, with some reaching as high as 145%. In response, China has slapped tariffs of up to 125% on certain U.S. products. This meeting will be the first high-level interaction between the two nations since Chinese Vice President Han Zheng attended Trump's inauguration in January. However, experts believe any resolution to the U.S.-China trade dispute could take months to achieve. In a separate development, the UK recently struck a trade deal with India earlier this week. This agreement is set to make exporting goods like whiskey, cars, and other products to India much easier for British companies. At the same time, India will benefit from reduced taxes on its exports of clothing and footwear to the UK. These developments highlight the fast-paced efforts by nations around the world to adjust their trade strategies amidst the shifting policies of the Trump administration. While progress is being made in some areas, challenges remain in resolving broader trade disputes and establishing long-term agreements.